Hello, teacher. This is my video presentation about giving directions. Okay, I'm going to talk about a specific place called Porto Alegre, the state. It's in Brazil. Okay, in Brazil have a lot of beautiful places when we can go visit and enjoy it. Of course, I'm going to explain a particular trip. It's so long. I will try to make it now so bigger, but it's a good place if you want to visit and uh, look so many beautiful cities and this kind of stuff about the tourism. Okay, well, we will locate in Porto Alegre. This is a capital of um, Rio Grande del Sur state in Brazil. Okay, well, if we are in Porto Alegre, of course, we are going to um, start in this specific place. Okay, let me show you better here. Well, looking here, okay, we are in the mm, in a particular place in the middle of this city. Well, if we start in the bus station, we take the Rua, the street Casemiro de Abreu, take it left, and in the corner, go straight. Okay, go straight, crossing so many corners, crossing the Avenida Independencia Avenue, and take it a little left and they go straight or ahead in Ramiro Barcelos Street. Then in the corner of the in the crossing of Avenida Cristobal Colombo Avenue, you can take the left and go straight, turn a little right, and in the intersection, turn right in the uh, Dr. Julio Osque Whiskey in this street. Okay, this started a particular trip because in this place we can see, uh, just let the map stand, we can see this big lake. Okay, this is a so big lake standing here. Okay, in this street that I told you, when you arrive here, you can you will see a long time this river and lakes. Okay, of course you see the big river, but it's considered a lake about because they tall their size. Okay, you go ahead so long time, maybe um, 3 hours by a car. Okay, and um, you will find um, uh, so many beautiful places and so many parts when you can stay. You can uh, you can walk with your family, and you reach for a that place. These are rounded. Okay, where you take it this round around and sorry take it in the left and go right. Okay, here. Okay, you will go ahead again by this street. Let me show you. Okay, sorry because don't charge. It's the street 4048. Okay, this particular trip here in that place, if you can look, don't appear so much neighborhoods because it's an industrial place. Okay, the particular part that if you go to the with a car by a car, you can look so many buildings and industrial stuff. But here, closer the avenue and the high part exists an train. Okay, and if you go to the train, of course more it's faster, but it's a beautiful place when you can look in the other sides, as you can see more rivers and more green places, of course the houses, and talking more the trip by train, you will take this street, the 448, by so long time. You turn left again, you across that side, you turn a right, right, left, and in this part you turn right. In this particular part, um, it's interesting because if you stay here in this part of the train, you can find so many farmers part. It's the biggest farmers in this state, and the particular farmers here, it's the Berto cereal farmers. And it's interesting because there in this state, it's so many common you the people eat beef. It's so many beefs, meat, and this kind of grills in the daily life. And for that reason, in this part, have a lot of farms. That these farms are enormous, gigantic farms there, and the particular part in this it's to you look and visit these places because you can see the animals, you can see the so many numbers of pigs, cows, the typical animals in the farm, and that is also this is touristic because for new people, uh, it's interesting to see how many farms exist here. Okay, but talking more about the trip, we cross this part and of course continue in the 448 road. We can pass so many streets, and in this part, you can go ahead until this part and go around and take the street 116. Okay, this is important because in Sapucaia do Sul have um, have a lot of neighborhood, but here have a lot of parts when you can climb. Have so many mountains, yeah, and the typical touristic here, it's about the mountain trips, yeah. This is another place when you can visit and meet so many risk sports, and it's very beautiful about the land, about the the mountains. I have a lot here, but according again for the trip, we take the street ahead, the street um, 116, and continue ahead. Okay, where is that? Okay, we cross the city Sao Leopoldo. Okay, in Sao Leopoldo, here it's part of it's next to Novo Hamburgo. Okay, the both city are next each one to other. In this place is fantastic because San Leopoldo is a beautiful place to tourists because these kind of cities. Let me explain you. Here in this specific part of Brazil, in the Second World War, arrived so many people who escaped the war. German people, Japanese people, um, the Polish, this kind of stuff, the European people arrive here. In Sao Leopoldo exist so many neighborhoods that it's only German people. Have a lot. And what is the interesting thing that you can see buildings like church, like touristic places like houses that is completely built in German style. Okay, the most beautiful in Sao Paulo is these buildings that you can see the ancient architect in German, and until today we can find it almost um, perfect in the perfect state in Sao Paulo. And in Novo Hamburgo is the same, but in Italian version. The Italians are the most predominant people in Novo Hamburgo, in this city. And have other places you can visit lakes, you can visit the forest, of course, in all of this trip. But the most important here is the Italian people because they have a lot of customs, a lot of food, kind of food that you can taste. Uh, it's interesting because in Sao Leopoldo you can feel you inside a little city, a German city. And Novo Hamburgo, you can feel like an Italian city. It's awesome. It's completely awesome, this difference. Okay, but talking about that, um, we put it in this corner and in the street 116 and take turn left with Maria Emilia de Paulo. Rodovia, it means avenue, okay? And you go ahead. You go ahead so much and so to the left. And it's a long trip. This place is not have so much things to say because it's more in neighborhood, it's a normal city, right? But yeah, we can find Rincão do Cascalho. Okay, talking about Porto Alegre, the city, the state where I visited, um, in this place, in this Rincão do Cascalho, exist so many traditional um, clothes like gauchos. Okay, there is a like farmer people and this custom, this kind of um, this style of of clothes. Just give me a second to show you these clothes to make this interesting. Let me find you. Yeah, this is a typical, stereotypical clothes in Porto Alegre, and in this place that I told you, it's a better marketing. It's a place where you can find anything in any kind of clothes, typical clothes here in Condo Cascalho. Okay, but talking more about the trip, you go ahead. so much time to cross San Martin. It's another city. Conceição is a beautiful place, but I don't have so many things to say. Uh, okay, here uh, in Lajeadinho, here you can find so many parks, giant parks, something like that. Of course, this is for athletics, but have parks in the same side. Okay, have a the biggest tree than ever seen. I look in there. Okay, continuing here, we um, we are in the Hiokadeya street and turn right. Okay, and we go ahead. Okay, this is a long trip, and maybe the internet is not helping me right now. But you cross the Loteamento Campo dos Cirillos. It's some places, industries places, okay? And well, you go ahead because there is a lot of, oh, okay. Here, you can look the Rio Sai, okay? It's a beautiful river. It's a beautiful river, and you can um, enter there and enjoy it because the weather is normal. It's not so cold and so hot. Okay, have a lot of churches as you see. You turn right and go ahead so much because it's a long trip. Okay, uh, I will not say so much about this because it's just a building, the normal city, and you take here and in the Villa Cristina. Okay, let me find you in the. We continue in the street 116. Okay, and go ahead, and Gallopolis. Okay, this curious thing that I told you before in Gallopolis here we find in this city. Here is a city where have a lot of French people. Okay, these French people, um, it's interesting because you can find some culture, some foods, this kind of stuff in this trip, and you continue ahead. Okay, sorry, the first time I said that was an hours, but no, it's maybe um 8 hours by your car, depending on where. But finally, you across here and find Caxias do Sul. Okay, what's the particular thing here in Caxias? The most important thing is the wine. The wine stuff here because there is the maximum exponent of wine in um, uh, Rio Grande do Sul state. Okay, just let me show you about here. Okay, here have beautiful places. One time in the year, we have the wine festival when all the city are invited to visit and taste the wine and uh, youth and so many stuff in the wine. Okay, other things that we can see in Caxias is the church's building. Okay, this is very interesting because we can find so many um, buildings making old buildings, and of course we can find something in this time of the wine festival. We can be the decoration. It's a really beautiful place, and yeah, that is how we can go to Caxias do Sul. Of course, it's a long trip. It's not something like in Ecuador place because to arrive here, you will pass for many cities. You know, Brazil is a big, really big place, um, a big uh, country. But in this trip, you can meet and know so many places in this trip, and for that reason, I decide to you know a little bit about this. I hope that you could understand a little more about this trip. Okay, just to just to finish, I want to tell you that um, have in this trip have other cities disclosed like Bento Gonçalves, Montenegro, Gravataí, and for example, Porto Alegre, it's into Guaíba y Gravataí, or Porto Alegre, it's behind Canoas, or in Novo Hamburgo, it's in front of Canoas. Okay, Novo Hamburgo, it's next to Montenegro, and Caxias do Sul, it's next to Bento Gonçalves. Bento Gonçalves and Montenegro exist the most beautiful forest in this place that I could meet. Okay, and you can discover so many trips in the jungle, yeah, especially in Montenegro. Okay, and of course to visit Montenegro, you need to take the Avenue 386. But yeah, that is according for the trip to Porto Alegre until Caxias do Sul. I hope you will enjoy it and have more desire to discover new places in Brazil. I can tell that it's so good to visit these places. Thank you very much.